Hello again, everyone. Right now, we need to work on making more decisions related to different types of data types. So last time we were able to compare values as far as score, for instance. We saw if a score, for instance, was greater than or equal 90, something like that. And we also were able to compare if an item is on sale or not. We declared the variable here, and we called it say on sale, and then we declared it true or false, like that, false. And we were able to ask if the item on sale is true. We were able to say, well, if the item is on sale, then we basically get the price times sorry, this is not like that. So you just want to make sure that I comment this out. So the price times the sales discount, sales dot discount, like that. And we were able to calculate based on whether the item is on sale or not. So what we haven't seen, so oops, I'm not sure why this is happening. It's trying to save something. All right. So what we're trying to do at this point is also compare some other data types. So clearly we said the data types could be also something related to words and text, and we call these guys strings. So suppose we have a name, and this name is, say, Mary, right? And we want to see if the name equals Mary, then we need to say grant access to the grant Mary access to the cloud, for instance, something like that. Suppose now we work with this, and let's see what will happen here if we do this, and we run it. We see here that the message that we printed here gotten evaluated, because for sure the name here that we specified in the variable equals the value that we're trying to check against. Suppose I want to take this part of the program, and I want to make that name come in. I want to make that name comes from the keyboard, so I don't know in advance if this name is Mary or not. So I'm going to use the input function here, and I'm going to say enter your name, like that, and say now if we can ask if the name equals Mary, like this. We can say yes, grant access to Mary, grant access to Mary, something like that. We don't need to be so fancy here. So what I'm going to do is just comment these guys out, and then I'm going to run, and what I'm expected to see is to see this message first, and then here is basically saying enter the name. So I'm not going to enter Mary, I'm going to enter Mike, and as you can see, nothing happened. Clearly nothing happened because we also did not have a default function, a default if else statement, and then we can basically say sorry, you are not Mary. So any name that is not Mary is not going to be evaluated, and is not going to grant this statement to be true, and therefore this statement is not going to be printed. So let's run it one more time. Enter your name. So now we're going to enter Mark, like that, and then here it says sorry, you're not Mary, because Mark here we had the user enter the value from the keyboard, and Mark was entered. Mark is not equal Mary. This is how you do the comparison. So this statement here, this is how you compare strings. Strings here is essentially placeholders that hold words and letters, and which is essentially text. This is basically how you can compare strings. So equal here is a string comparison, is a comparison operator, is a comparison. So equal is a comparison operator, not assignment, not equality. So the difference now again between here, this and that. So now let me write this down for you. So let's just we say the difference here is that Mary is assigned to the placeholder name. So we're not checking for equality, we're actually passing the value in the right hand side to this placeholder, like a little box. You can get this box and you fill out with some jewelries, some rings. You can fill out with some I don't know, some marbles, some beads. Whatever you put in that box, the box is going to hold it. So right now I have a box, and this box has the name Mary. So I have assigned Mary to this box. I want you to think about it as if we're passing that value here. So there is an arrow here, and that's an imaginary arrow. The syntax does not have the arrow, but I want you to make sure, I want you to keep in mind, and when you see that single operator here, you understand that it's only an assignment operator, which means the value here in the right hand side is being passed to this placeholder. On the other hand, here, this is indeed an equality checking. So if you want to check for equality, if the name here equals Mary, equals Mark, so anything you want equals marbles, like that. Doesn't matter what's it called. But here it will check. So if I run this one more time, so you understand that this has nothing to do. Enter your name. So the name here is Bonnie, like that. So here the message that we got is, well, here what happened is that the name has become Bonnie, and Bonnie is not equal marbles. So let me also show you what we can do. Let's print the name after we the name we entered. So we can say you entered, like that. You entered. Here is the name, and we can also compare. If we can say print name, like that, equals marbles, like that, and you are going to see if this is equal or not. Is the name equal marbles? And I'm going to put a question mark here, and I'm just going to put these guys in parentheses just to separate it. Let me just make sure that I also close the print statement as parentheses. So this is going to tell me if these guys are equal or not equal. So if I enter any name other than marbles, this is going to be false. Therefore, if this is false, then Mary, sorry, you're not Mary. This is not gonna, we actually have to say this is not marbles to make this consistent, like that. So let me run it one more time. Now it's asking me to enter my name again, and enter, when I enter, what did we enter last time? We entered Bonnie, like that. So now we entered Bonnie. So this statement here was evaluated here. Is the name marbles? No. Well, clearly is not marbles. So name is not equal marbles because we entered Bonnie, and Bonnie is not marbles. Therefore, we got in false. And then when this is false, therefore that statement is not evaluated. So what is need to be done? what is left to be done is to evaluate this else statement, and when this else statement is evaluated, then we actually get the message, the default message. So this is really it. This is all you need to know to be able to compare strings. You can convert the name here into, like, say, a password, like that. And if we change this, then everybody else is going to be upset, and you're going to see all these red curly lines. That's going to not be very happy. And now if we want to enter a password, and suppose the password is how do you, okay, pass W0 RD, like that. This is an imaginary password here. Suppose this is what you want to make for a password. So now is the password, is the name. Okay, so we basically entered the password here. Then we don't need to print any of these guys. And now I want to make sure yes, grant access to the cloud. And no, don't grant access to the cloud. Suppose now I want to grant access based on the proper, the exact password that you enter. So I'm gonna run this one more time here. And now it's gonna ask me to enter a password, and this password I'm gonna make it I don't know, anything you can enter. Chicken salad, one word. Who cares? So I entered chicken salad here. And now this statement is evaluated and basically saying, if the password is, which is chicken salad that I entered from the keyboard, equal this, then I will be granted access. Otherwise, this statement here is to be printed, which is indeed what we entered because we did not enter the proper password. So I'm just going to copy this one more time. I'm going to copy the password, the exact password here, and I'm going to run it one more time, and I'm going to enter my password here. And here it says your password is this. Clearly, you should never be printing your password on the screen, but this is just for the sake of demonstration. And it says, yes, indeed, I am going to grant you access there because your password that you entered matches the password that we have here on the record. This is how we can compare strings. And I want you to remember that the comparison of strings is a double equal operator versus the single operator here, which is an assignment. And I want you to think about this arrow here, imaginary arrow, which means you pass the value on the right hand side to the placeholder, which is the variable here. But clearly this is not part of the syntax. The syntax now is a single equal operator, not with an arrow operator. The arrow was just an imaginary thing to make you see these two operators differently. Thanks for watching, and we'll continue next on the next video. Thanks again.